The quiet power of Evelyn Marks. Evelyn Marks wasn't the kind of woman most people noticed when she walked into a room. At 38, she had the kind of understated presence that rarely drew attention. Dressed that morning in a plain oatmeal-colored sweater and jeans that had seen better days, her only accessory was a worn leather handbag and a smile that didn't waver, no matter how she was treated. Her blonde hair was pulled into a tidy ponytail, and she wore no makeup by choice, not necessity. That morning, her husband, Jonathan Marks, had stood beside her in their sunlit hallway, adjusting the cuffs of his tailored shirt and giving her a concerned glance. Jonathan, at 56, was a sharply dressed executive, the CEO of Monarch Capital Holdings, a financial powerhouse that had recently acquired a struggling regional banking chain, Rivergate Trust. "You really sure about this?" he'd asked her, nodding his navy tie with practiced ease. Evelyn looked at him in the mirror, tucking in a stray hair. "You said it yourself, you want to know how your new branches are treating everyday people. What better way than to go as one of them?" Jonathan exhaled, the faintest trace of worry tightening his brow. The past 3 months had been filled with reports about the Hartford branch. Complaints had arrived like clockwork. Dismissive staff, arrogance, and a cold, exclusive atmosphere that made average customers feel like trespassers. He needed answers, and Evelyn, unassuming, calm, and resolute, was the perfect person to find them. "Just don't tell them who you are," he reminded her. Evelyn gave a soft laugh. "In this outfit, they won't even remember me after I leave." They had a plan. Evelyn would go to the Hartford branch of Rivergate Trust, posing as an ordinary customer needing to deposit a check and inquire about a small personal loan. Jonathan would arrive an hour later for his scheduled meeting with the branch manager. If things went the way reports suggested, the contrast in their experiences would be telling. And lunch after, Evelyn confirmed with a smile. "Absolutely," Jonathan said, kissing her cheek. "That Italian place you love." She left in their second Cara 10-year-old sedan that blended in anywhere, leaving behind their usual sleek black SUV. When she reached the Rivergate building, all steel and glass with sleek edges and cool shadows, it towered over Main Street with an air of intimidating wealth. Inside, the atmosphere was hushed but efficient. Polished floors, chrome accents, and muted lighting created a sense of clinical perfection. Evelyn stepped to the reception desk, where a young man barely looked up from his computer. "Good morning," she said, polite but warm. "I'd like to deposit a check and ask about a personal loan." He glanced up, eyes flicking over her outfit, and his polite expression cooled a degree. "Do you have an account with us?" "Yes," she said evenly. "Name?" "Evelyn Marks." He typed and frowned. "Nothing under that name." "I've banked with Rivergate for years," she said. "Maybe it's under E. Marks?" Still nothing. He offered a tight smile. "You may be confusing us with another institution. We do have minimum balance requirements." The message was clear. She didn't look like she belonged. Evelyn resisted the urge to remind him that her husband's company now owned this bank. "Could I speak with a customer service representative?" she asked, steady. He gestured toward a tall woman in a cobalt blazer, who looked over with a brief, skeptical glance. As Evelyn approached, the woman's eyes swept over her appearance again with a hint of contempt. "Can I help you?" she asked coolly. "Yes, I'd like to make a deposit and ask about a small personal loan." "Do you have an appointment?" "No, but we generally require appointments for loan consultations," the woman interrupted, tapping her nails on the desk. Evelyn offered a calm smile. "Perhaps you could make an exception." The woman sighed, her name tag reading Marla Bennett. "Let's see some ID." Evelyn handed over her driver's license. Bennett held it to the light as if it might vanish. "Fairfield County," she said, eyebrows raised. "That's a bit of a drive. I had errands in Hartford. Thought I'd stop by." "And what are we depositing today?" Evelyn pulled out a $5,000 check. Bennett picked it up delicately. "And where did this come from?" "It's from my personal account," Evelyn replied. Bennett made a show of examining the check. "We have protocols for large deposits, especially from irregular customers." "5,000 isn't exactly a wire transfer," Evelyn said quietly. "It's not the amount," Bennett said in a voice loud enough for nearby clients to hear. It's about our clientele. Rivergate maintains a high standard. Evelyn's cheeks flushed, but she remained composed. Are you refusing my deposit? We can process it, Bennett said, but it'll be held for up to 15 business days. That's excessive, Evelyn replied, now firm. I'd like to speak to a manager. Mr. Langston is in meetings. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at a different bank. One, more aligned with your financial standing. Evelyn stared at her. My financial standing? Let's be honest, Bennett said, leaning forward. This branch serves high net worth individuals. From your appearance, I don't believe you're in that category. Evelyn could feel eyes on her now. Some customers looked away awkwardly. Others watched with smug interest. I'd like to see your manager. Now, I'd like you to leave, Bennett said. You're broke. We don't serve your kind here. Silence fell across the branch. Evelyn remained still. You're judging me based on my clothing? I'm protecting the integrity of our clientele. A security guard appeared, uncertain. This is discrimination, Evelyn said clearly. Call what you want, Bennett replied. Prove you belong here or leave. Evelyn breathed deeply. What would prove it? My purse. My watch. Bennett sneered. A name that means something. The security guard stepped forward. Ma'am, I'll need you to come with me. Evelyn looked at him. I understand, but this isn't over. As she left, the security guard whispered, Sorry, ma'am. She's like this with a lot of people. Evelyn nodded, checked her watch. 11:45. Jonathan would arrive any minute. She texted him one sentence. They need to see this for themselves. At noon sharp, Jonathan entered the bank, crisp and commanding. At his side was Evelyn, now composed and resolved. They approached the same guard who blinked in recognition. Inside, Bennett was laughing with a couple near her desk. She didn't see them yet. Gregory Langston, the branch manager, emerged from his office, face bright. Mr. Marks, we weren't expecting. I'm here early, Jonathan interrupted, his voice cold. With my wife. Langston paled. Your wife. Evelyn stepped forward. The woman your staff threw out 30 minutes ago. Langston stammered. There must be some mistake. No mistake, Evelyn said. It was her. She pointed at Bennett. By now, whispers were spreading. Bennett looked up, her expression puzzled, then annoyed, then horrified as she realized who stood before her. Jonathan marched toward her desk, Langston stumbling behind him. Good afternoon, Bennett said weakly. How may I help you? You can explain, Jonathan said, why you humiliated my wife this morning. Your wife? She whispered. Yes, Evelyn Marks. You told her she was broke and unwelcome. There was confusion, Bennett stammered. She didn't match our usual clients. That's the problem, Jonathan said, his voice rising. Respect isn't earned by suits or last names. He turned to the room. I'm Jonathan Marks, CEO of Monarch Capital Holdings. 3 months ago, we acquired Rivergate Trust. My wife came here today to test how you treat customers. Ordinary customers. The bank was silent. She was dismissed, insulted, and told to leave. He turned to Langston. Your office. Now, I want staff interviews. Starting with this guard, who is the only one with decency. Langston nodded, stunned. And as for you, he turned to Bennett. You're suspended. Effective immediately. But I've been here 8 years. With the wrong values, Jonathan said. Pack your things. HR will contact you tomorrow. Evelyn stepped forward. It's not about punishment. It's about the lesson. How you treat people when you think they're no bodythats who you really are. A month later, the Hartford branch was transformed. Softer lighting, open counters, and a more welcoming staff. The former security guard, James, now wore a badge that read Customer Service Manager. Mrs. Marks, he said. Thank you. Things are better here now. Jonathan nodded. How's business? Up. Turns out kindness attracts customers. Near the exit, Evelyn saw a woman in worn clothes being helped with patience and respect. Evelyn smiled. A new plaque near the door read, Every customer deserves our respect. And beneath that, carved in silver, the Evelyn principle. Sometimes being underestimated is the most powerful position of all.